Hello, I'm Arvell Bass. Welcome to StoneCreek Ranch. Welcome to our trail riding clinic today. We're gonna have a little fun and hopefully learn to get along with our trail horses a little better. I'd like to introduce you to Sandy Buxton. Come on in here, Sandy. Maybe I can get somebody to take this horse for me. All right, Sandy. Thank you for bringing your horse today.
You're welcome.
What's her name?
Spice.
Spice. How old is she?
She's 9.
She's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell us a little bit about Spice and why you brought her today.
Well, I had her out on the trail, and she kicked.
She kicked a person?
Yes. She was kicking at his horse, but his leg happened to be between her and his horse.
Wow.
And it was pretty bad. So that's my biggest problem, is that I can't trust her. She's 9 years old. I raised her from a foal. As far as her training, the only training that she has had is what I have given her.
All right.
She charges ahead on the trail. The only time I take her out on the trail is with other people that I know, and she knows the other people, or the other horses. She charges forward. She wants to be in the lead. When I try to hold her back, she dances, prances.
You feel like you don't have any control over her.
Exactly.
Can you control her, you think?
It's a struggle. It wears me out. We constantly have to go in circles to not run over the person in front of us.
Okay.
I feel safer in the back because of her kicking problem.
Yeah. So that is a problem. You feel like you can't have anyone behind you,
no.
But she won't be in the back.
Right.
She won't relax in the back.
Right.
Okay.
And when other people on the trail come up to catch up with us, I try to pull her off to the side. And in doing so, she gets very nervous then and goes into circles also.
Okay. Well, it's not much fun riding a horse like that you can't trust and relax. You know, I think a trail ride, we ought to have a horse we can throw down the reins and relax and have a good time. Thanks for bringing this horse, Sandy. Believe it or not, a lot of people are riding horses like this, and I'm going to give you credit because some people don't even realize it's a problem, okay? And yeah, you know what I like about what you're doing is you're asking for help for you. We had this conversation, you know, before, and I work almost predominantly with problem horses at some level. Mm-hmm. And guess what? The problem usually isn't in the horse. It's usually in us and how we interact with our horses. So I want to commend you for making an investment in yourself. You know, a lot of people say, my horse is crazy, I'm going to send it to the trainer for 30 days. And they get the horse back, and it's fine for 30 minutes, and then, you know. So the more I think we invest in ourselves, and like you're doing, the better all our horses will be. So good for you.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see if we can help you with your horse a little bit.
Okay.
Why don't you let me have her? I think we've provided a horse for you to ride along today, and we'll get started right here. One of the things I picked up on Sandy, when you were introducing me to Spice, was how she was kind of pushing you around and a little bit disrespectful. I'm going to start a relationship with her right now that I'm not going to let her eat. I want her to move out of my space. Before I get on her, I'm just going to move her around here a little bit. And I don't really, want her encroaching on my space. That's a real important thing. I think she's picked up on that already. So while I'm bridling her up, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I want to work on the most dangerous thing first, and that's her kicking, okay? Kicking and her aggression towards other riders and horses. you ride her with a ribbon in her tail, Sandy?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. You know, one of the things about the ribbon in the tail is when it gets to that point, does everybody know what that means when they got a ribbon in the horse's tail? That means stay away from my horse because it kicks. All right. You know, usually by the time our horse is kicked, we've missed a few points. We've missed some acts of aggression. And, you know, we've ignored those. So, that's one of the first things before I really do anything else with this horse as far as training. I'm hoping that she will act out a little bit aggressively towards another horse or two here, and I want to fix that. You know, a lot of that stuff can kind of go away when, you know, as we train our horse and establish a relationship with them. But because so many horses are like that out there on the trail, I think it's real important that we all start thinking about, what does it mean, Sandy, when she pins her ears at another horse? What does that say to you?
She's not happy.
She's not happy?
She doesn't want them near her.
Doesn't want her near her. That's exactly right. She doesn't want her. It says, get out of my space, right? Okay, I want to talk about that for a minute. That's okay in the pasture, but this is not her space. If I'm her leader, all this real estate right here is mine. If this is my space and I'm not going to let this mare act out aggressively to these other horses, well, that also means that I have to be her protector. That means that I am going to be responsible for her safety as well. I'm not going to let these other horses come, you know, ride with their nose on her tail. When a horse bites, kicks, threatens another horse, a person, or whatever, we've already missed those early signs of aggression, okay? We didn't correct it when it was just a look, where they pin their ears just a little bit and make those threatening gestures. So that's where we got to focus. We got to correct it before it becomes a physical act, right? When those, like with this horse, I know she's got it in her, so I'm going to watch it really close. But, you know, we see this a lot on the trail rides where people are just riding along and talking, their horse is pinning their ears, and they're not even aware of it. And I'd like for everyone to be a little bit more aware about that overall, because it happens a lot and it goes unchecked. Right when that horse first pins its ears, right there is where we need to correct it. The way I'm going to correct this is if she pins her ears or makes any aggressive move to another horse, I'm going to bump this and say, okay? If she does it again, it's squared, or twice as hard as before. You know, I'm not going to bump her because she's not doing it right now. And I promise, within 3 or 4 times, she will not. I think that just demonstrated right there how, you know, after a couple times, they learn what we're going to accept and what we're not. This is not a colt, and this horse is a problem on the trail. Sandy said that, you know, she don't trust her. She can't really control her. I want to talk about the use of pressure a little bit. And a horse like this, that isn't a colt, you know, I'm going to be as nice as I can, but I'm definitely going to use an appropriate amount of pressure to get the response that I want in a timely manner. Horses perform to the level of what? Our expectations, okay? And if I have real high expectations for this mare, and I set that out in the beginning, you know, the brain capacity of a horse is pretty limited. I mean, yeah, they're very intelligent about simple tasks, but if I can have spice, thinking about what I want, if I have real high expectations for her and I'm fairly demanding, I limit how much she can be worried about all the other stimulus out on this trail ride, okay? So I just want to point that out. As you're getting ready for, you know, when you load up by the trailer, if we would, you know, kind of raise our expectations and be fairly demanding